Iman, 4 minutes to play. Knicks are down by 5. Jalen Brunson, he had a rough night most of the night, but he turned it on in the fourth quarter. Allen.
This is what he does, Captain Clutch moments. He did not shoot the ball well early in this game, but he scored 14 of the final 16 points for the Knicks.
Yeah. Boy,
look at that tough shot in the corner from Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Gosh.
He had himself a day.
He had 36 points. Hawks a 5-point lead. 3 minutes left. Knicks down by 3. It's Brunson. We're all tied at 100.
Fall with the clutch player like that.
Look at Brunson late in this game. Shooters bounce. He had 30 points and 13 assists. Knicks take a 2-point lead. 5 seconds to go.
Leave him open.
Leave him.
And so I want you to watch what happens. We got a 3-point differential. 1 second left. CJ McCollum for the tie. It goes in.
I would have done the same thing.
But you tell me, did the ball leave his hands before the clock struck zero? No, it did not.
No, it did not.
It came just a millisecond too late, and the Knicks win 108-105. What a phenomenal finish. And I just want to reenact a conversation that we had in our pre-show meeting this morning when I suggested to you, Alan Hahn, who is very connected with the Knicks, and you do the games on MSG, et cetera, that a lot of Knicks fans are saying, hey, maybe we'd rather be 4 than 3 in the seeding to avoid Boston in the second round. What do you say to them?
They should be drug tested. Did you watch that game last night? That was a very entertaining game, but the Hawks, they are a dangerous team. Why the hell would you want to play them in the first round? They look like they're going to be locked in that 5 seed when you could play a Raptors team you've dominated, a Sixers team that's got some flaws about them. There's other options, better options than playing the Hawks. You're going to have to play Boston at some point. Yeah. So it doesn't matter whether it's the second round or later. You got to play them. But for the Knicks, it's really about how they're playing right now, and they're turning it up at the right time. That was an impressive win last night.
Yeah, I would say the same with Allen.
Yeah.
I would take care of that. You're going to have to see Boston, but I'd rather see Boston in an earlier round than a later round. Because you don't know about your health. You don't know about what's going on. You don't know about who's catching the rhythm and who's starting to feel it. I want to get you now. Like, let's get it out the way. Line it up now. Get it out the way. Because I agree. The Hawks they're the same as Charlotte to me, where it's like people don't see it until you got to play them. And then it's like, now y'all see what we talking about.
I've been saying that there's a Dragon Slayer in the bottom of the bracket.
Oh, yeah.
And I look at Charlotte and I look at the Hawks as 2 teams that are almost, it's like house money.
Yeah,
no penalty. Like they're happy to just be back in the mix, especially Charlotte. They haven't been there in forever.
That's right.
But for the Hawks, too, the way they rebuilt themselves, that's a dangerous team that you don't want to mess with.
I want to show you another dangerous team that I feel like is sort of flying under the radar, and that would be the Denver Nuggets. Well, Michael Malone won a championship with this group a couple of years ago. They were down as many as 16 in the fourth quarter against Portland yesterday. But the Joker said, I'm bringing us back. That one made it 8. Now 3 minutes to go. It's a 6-point game. Cam Johnson, it's a 3-point game. Little over a minute left. Denver down by 3.
Away.
How important to this team is Aaron Gordon, Shum?
He's so good right now. He's
big.
Stepping up to make big shots, always in the right place at the right time.
Healthy now, right?
Tied at 123. Now we're tied at 125. Joker gets it back for the win.
There it is.
No good. And then the offensive tip, and that's no good. And we're going to overtime.
Never
48
misses
minutes.
that.
Insufficient to settle the issue in the OT. Denver by 3. Where are we looking for a bucket? Can't forget about Jamal Murray. He would score 20. He's open over there.
Make the extra pass, AG.
Oh, wait, defense.
Give up a good shot for a great shot. Nuggets by 6. Minute and a half to go. Jokic, I want to read you his stat line from last night, people. Nikola Jokic, had 35 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists, and 5 steals.
That's it.
And we're used to it.
Just another night at the office, right? Like no one even
night.
stops.
Yeah.
Let me just take a look at the standings here. This is where we stand. The Nuggets now pass up the Lakers, so they're in the 3 spot. Lakers a half a game back. We got the rest of the week to figure it out. But make your point about Nikola Jokic, because it's a good one.
We have now gotten to the point where we can watch Nikola Jokic have a triple-double. And we'll say, hey man, he just had a good game. What we're watching is over and over him just calmly go out here. You watching the footwork here, him get to buckets, do all these things with very limited or no turnovers. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't get talked about, but we're just getting so used to we're spoiled right there, shielding them off with the body, that long step at the end, leaning in to take away your athleticism. Now you can't get up.
You were saying this morning, you think maybe when Wemby kind of called out everybody, and Jokic may have taken that a little personally.
Yeah, and I want to say, Nikola Jokic, thank you for doing that because Wemby, though we encouraged that, and I love that challenge that he did, it didn't seem like anybody in the NBA was going to say something. Nobody wanted to be the bad guy, and Jokic didn't say anything. He let his game do the talking. He made a statement game, went straight at the man, and then made sure to go up to him after the game and give him a little tap on the chest and let him know, hey, you still a little bro.
How about Jokic?
Like I'm here. Don't forget.
You definitely still.
Well,
bro.
we know that Nikola Jokic loves his horses, right?
Yeah.
He loves racing his horses.
Yes.
To
There you
me,
go.
this is the mentality that he has in the basketball season, where when you get down the stretch, what happens? The thoroughbreds, the championship ones, they dial it up a notch and head to the finish line. And
Let's
that's
do
what
it.
he's doing. Watch this. I love this here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 steps.
It's like dancing.
And the pass we showed before that was a no-look Aaron Rodgers cross-court pass right into the shooter's pocket. He
Off
is
the
taking
inbound
it up a
pass.
notch. And that shot against Wemby in overtime, that was also a bit of a message send as well, the Sombor shuffle. Like him with this move.
This
and
was
this
Saturday
shot.
night.
Like, look at this. This is against a guy 7'5", and he read it off the fingertips, over his head, and just let him know, like, no one can make this shot in this league except me.
He just gave himself a little bit more room. Not a lot of people were watching the footwork, but if you watch it, he did a rocker step and then went onto his off foot. So he shot it right foot, right hand.
Make that
which
sound
is-
so easy.
It throws your timing off. Like as a defender, somebody that had to guard a lot of people, it's something so small, but it's like you can't defend it.
Overlook the Nuggets at your own risk.
Yes.
They are coming on strong at the end of this season. Coming up next, the standoff in New York. Hail to the victors. Michigan wins it all last night. They're the first Big Ten school to win the men's national championship since Michigan State in 2000, snapping the streak you see on your screen of 8 straight losses in the national championship game for the conference. I would add to this, of course, that the UCLA women had won the title the day before, and that the Big Ten has won the national championship in football each of the last 3 seasons. And that begs the question of Sean Farnham and my uncle Seth Greenberg, no relation. Seth, why has the Big Ten dominated the major sports the way it has in recent years?
They've hired terrific coaches and gave them resources. You can't win without resources. And they've given them the resources you need to build world-class programs. But first and foremost, you got to hire coaches that have a vision. So your investment equals your expectation. Now you say, well, everyone invests in their program. Not everyone invests in a championship level.
From 2 or 3 back, he shot 67 on Sunday. You know,
and then they've
put
hired
some
the right
Morris
coaches.
about
Like,
that.
think
30,
about this fall in
37
Indiana, they
and
hired Kurt
72.
Cinetti. What did he do? He was a great evaluator. People do not understand. One of the most important parts of recruiting is evaluation. He did a great job evaluating. They gave him resources. He wins a championship. Michigan, Dusty May, he did a great job of evaluating. They gave him resources. He's competing and winning a national championship. That's just the way it is. You take a FAU to the Final Four, you're a pretty good evaluator and a pretty good coach. Great hire and good job of giving them the resources to be successful.
Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that you look at it and the landscape of college basketball and athletics overall as it's evolved and changed in conference expansion for the Big Ten. You look at the commitment that has been made by Greg Sankey and the SEC. You look at the Big 12, the ACC. These are the power conferences that have the most resources available to them. And when the top tier teams in those conferences elevate up, a lot of times it comes down to the simple fact of, to Coach's point, yeah, making the right hire. But how much money are you funding and giving to your program to be able to go out with roster construction? The transfer portal opened last night at midnight. A coach was just showing me a video of Dan Hurley postgame going, is it midnight? Did any of my guys go in the portal? I mean, that's just a reality of college athletics right now. So your evaluation process during that, the financial resources that can match that evaluation, that's how you build out your roster and the likeness that you want. It allows you to have the opportunity to win a championship and compete at the highest level.
It's an entirely new world in big-time college sports now. At least for the moment, it seems that a bunch of Big Ten schools have figured it out. Meanwhile, there is no bluer blood than Carolina blue, and North Carolina made an outside-the-box move yesterday, hiring former NBA coach Michael Malone as their new head coach. You know him, of course. He was on ESPN. He coached the Nuggets for 10 years, won the NBA title in 2023. I want you to hear Coach K. He was on McAfee yesterday and shared his thoughts as the news broke.
It takes longer if you ever get adjusted coming from the pros to college. There's a learning curve. The infrastructure of their athletic department Is it now going to become more of a pro organization? I think everybody should be doing that. And the fact that he knows how to do that, and so does Coach Belichick, maybe that's a sign that they're moving in that direction organizationally.
It is interesting. North Carolina going with the legendary NFL coach in Belichick. Year one had its ups and mostly downs, but we'll see if he can get it turned around. And now Michael Malone. Seth, I mean, Carolina, as they say, they are supposed to be the kings of college basketball on a regular basis. Do you like the hire?
I absolutely love the hire. And there's nothing in common between Coach Belichick and Michael Malone. They're two different human beings. They take in two different paths. But Michael Malone is an absolute home run hire. He's a coach's coach. He's going to pour himself into the job. He has an insatiable work ethic. Now, the key is going to be infrastructure. You're right. He's going to have to hire some staff members that understand the business of college basketball. But when you're an NBA champion, when you're a guy that has international contacts, basically coaching the best international player in all of the world, his contacts, his network, his pedigree, his ability to coach, his ability to connect with people, his ability to fundraise. He checks every single box. Michael Malone is an absolute home run hire in every way.
Yeah, I will tell you, to just add on to that, I mean, he's 54 years old. He's 1 year older than Dan Hurley. So we're not talking about Bill Belichick 2.0 here. I was lucky enough to be there, Elite Eight Saturday, NBA Countdown finished, and Coach Malone sat down, spent about 35 minutes with him just talking basketball. His passion, his sense, and his finger being on the pulse of not just, by the way, what was going on in the NBA game, but also the college game as we were watching the Elite Eight games together. I'm telling you, he's going to make a natural transition over. His basketball acumen, in particular at the offensive end of the floor, is going to be invigorating for a lot of players to want to be a part of. I think North Carolina got this right, and they did it swiftly. They sure looked into Tommy Lloyd, looked into Dusty May. When you weren't getting those, where else were you going to go? You had to make a pivot. And again, with the portal opening up, it was important to get this hire done to allow this staff that's going to be brought in quickly to assemble and start identifying the talent they need to bring in for their roster next year.
Yeah, really.
He understands college basketball, Greg.
Yeah.
I mean, he started in college basketball, and he'll surround himself with the right people. He's got a vast network.
So we'll see. He feels to me like such an NBA guy, but maybe that's just because you get used to it over the course of years. And maybe, frankly, the line between those two doesn't exist in the way I picture it anymore. Guys, stay close. Much more of that. But speaking of the NBA, oh, what a finish we had between the Knicks and the Hawks last night. Alan Hahn. Stay sharp.
You like that.
On ESPN.